Hi students, I'm Una.
And I'm Scott.
I'm a PTE teacher from the UK.
I'm also a PTE teacher from the UK.
And we've been helping students pass their exams for years.
And now we're excited to help you pass your exam too.
Welcome to the Swoosh English PTE podcast.
Let's get started. Hi everyone, and welcome to the PTE podcast here at Swoosh English. I'm Scott.
And I'm Una.
And today we're going to go through some top tips for the listening section, fill in the blanks. A few really useful tips which you can take away and hopefully apply very quickly to improve your score. What would be the first top tip that you would recommend for the students?
So the first tip that I would recommend is to make sure that you're working on your word families and your word forms.
And why is that so essential?
Yeah, this is really important for this task because sometimes that listening goes very fast. Okay, you are having to write down the words for each blank, and that is going to be difficult to write down maybe the full form of the word. It could be quite a long word, and you need to move on with the rest of that listening and following it, following the text as the listening is being spoken. So we recommend that you even just write down the word root, okay? And that is just the base form of the word perhaps, and then you can fill in another form of the word that is required when you go back and look over it.
Yeah, okay.
So having a good knowledge of your word families and all the different forms of the word, that's really important for listening fill in the blanks. So an example might be you write down assign because you hear a word something like assign, and then the word could actually be assignment or assignee or assignable. So if you know your word forms and you have good grammatical knowledge of sentence structures, then you'll be able to decide exactly what form of the word is missing.
Great advice. I think that's very, very important for this task.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your top tip, Scott?
Well, we all know that, because we mentioned it previously, that spelling is essential for this task. As you may know already, that you only get a mark if the blank is not only the correct word, but also spelt correctly as well. So therefore, any spelling error at all will actually result in a 0 for that given mark. So we emphasize how important it is to practice your spelling. Learn some typical spelling conventions like usually I before E, etc., etc. Learn how to use suffixes and prefixes accurately as well and know how they're spelt. It also comes into the word root family ID as well. And just make sure you're pretty consistent. Now, I know that English is a language that is notorious for changing the rules when it comes to spelling conventions, but do your best in order to understand how certain words are spelt. And also I recommend as well that even though Pearson, who are the founders of this test, the company behind the PT examination, are British, make sure that you obviously are aware of the different spelling conventions, whether it's American English or British English, and stick to one. So if you spell American English, that's fine. British English is also good, but we also recommend that you do not mix these up. You stick to one.
No, you must not mix. As long as you stick to one spelling convention, then you'll be fine. As long as you show consistency in your spelling.
Consistency is important. That's just general. That's a pretty general rule across English in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for examinations.
Yeah, for the exam. So if you speak in, like you said, write in British English, go do that only. And if you write in American English, do that only.
Right, okay. I think we got room for one more tip. What would it be?
Yeah, so just make sure that you are keeping up with that listening. Don't stop at all on one particular blank, okay? Just write down what you hear as fast as you can and move on with the listening. Keep up with the blanks as they are being spoken.
And how can students do that?
Well, like I said, write down the word root instead of writing down the full length of the word perhaps, and use your cursor as you go through. Yeah, so use your cursor as you go through to follow along with it as well.
Yeah, just remember that listening is obviously the primary skill that's been activated in this task. You don't want to ensure that you're reading or writing primarily across the listening. You only get to hear the listening once. You can read and write again afterwards. So that cursor is a very useful tool to ensure that you are keeping up with that listening transcript. So please use it. It might seem obvious, but it's a really handy and simple tool.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it then with our top tips series today. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you got some good tips that you can put into practice with your listening fill in the blanks. See you again soon, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Are you struggling with your PTE exam preparation? Are you unsure how to get that score of 65, 79, or even 90? Let us help you get there. Please go to pte.swooshenglish.com and enter discount code PTE10 in order to receive 10% discount on any course.